All right, what's going on, guys? Try back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video predictions, giving my thoughts on what we think is going to happen in next week's episode of the Walking Dead television series. This is for Season 10, Episode 7, Open Your Eyes. Alright, so that leaves us with only 2 episodes left for The Walking Dead Season 10's first half, and then we are into our break. So kind of an early sort of break this year that will take us to basically not even December this year. So we'll get next week's episode on the 17th, and then the 24th is the mid-season finale for The Walking Dead Season 10. So I guess this season started a little bit early with its 8 episodes, but it was fun to get it when they release and everything, and just because it's not going in December, oh well, what can you do, right? It's kind of going by pretty quick with only 2 episodes left. Almost in some ways it feels like not as much has happened as maybe we would have liked. But there are lots of things happening. So lots of different things happening at the different communities and everything. And I'd have to say right now, probably from this first half of Season 10, maybe the stuff I'm enjoying the most is getting to see Negan interact with the Whisperers. So far, for me anyway, that's been kind of the highlight of this season yet for me, which... I guess, that's got all kinds of awesomeness written all over it. So I guess that makes sense, right? So episode 7 is called Open Your Eyes. And we saw a scene in episode 6 where Siddiq is there at Alexandria, and he can hear the whisperer voices at Beta or whoever is saying, open your eyes, something like that. And he kind of opens his eyes, and he can hear the windmill going around, and he's in Alexandria. So I don't know if he was... kind of just imagining that in episode 6, if he had kind of wandered over there, if he's been sleepwalking or something like this, would be kind of funny to see. But of course, he's still dealing with the trauma of what happened last season, near the end of season 9 there with the fair and everything, and the Whisperers and what they did, and just killing so many people. There was kind of a theory or a prediction. Somebody had said, I don't know, I heard a bunch of people have commented about this one, that possibly Siddiq may have been forced to do some of the dirty work for the Whisperers, so to possibly decapitate some of the others. I think comicbook.com has an article on it right now, possibly Enid or something like this. So I don't know if that's maybe kind of a leaked spoiler that he had to do that somehow, if somehow that kind of got out beforehand before it's been sort of revealed. But it's all over the comments everywhere, and I've been seeing it now for a few weeks. There was, of course, the discussion of whether or not he might have been a traitor, and so... most likely we're going with at this point that he has not been kind of spy feeding information to the Whisperers. It sounds like nobody really has, maybe. And maybe Alpha just knew that because her Whisperers are always kind of in and around, and they somehow figured that out or found out. Because we did sort of get the sense that maybe Gamma would possibly be sent in as some kind of spy, maybe to try to gain Erin's favor or something, and because Erin did help her, so maybe she could be useful in that way, and wearing a different kind of mask, as Alpha put it, and maybe kind of acting like she's a defector from the Whisperers, but really is not. We also don't get to see her in episode 6, did we? We didn't get to see her with the Negan episode. She was not there with the Negan joining and all the different Beta, Alpha, Negan scenes and everything, Whisperer scenes with Negan. So maybe that's where she is. We also didn't get to see Erin either. So maybe we'll get to see him in episode 7, and that's when they'll kind of bring that kind of back in. The sneak peek and the promo video have not been posted yet to AMC's channel like they usually are at this time. So I won't give my thoughts on those just yet till we get to see them. They've also been releasing kind of the first opening minutes on like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of each week for the episode. So we'll be getting more clips for this one as we get closer to next Sunday for the release for episode 7, but we don't have too much right now that we can look at online until they post it, which maybe later on tonight, maybe pretty soon they will. So the description for the episode reads, "Open your eyes. Carol pushes boundaries that make Daryl uneasy. Alpha and Beta have reservations about someone." So I think the description is pretty easy to kind of dissect down here. Alpha and Beta have reservations about Negan, obviously, and joining the Whisperers. I'm calling him Caveman Negan because he comes in with the big, it's not Lucille, but it's kind of his makeshift tree branch caveman Lucille, right? So minus the barbed wire, but good enough to kill some zombies, right? As we got to see. So I love that scene at the end of episode 6. Highlight of maybe one of the highlights of the season when Negan comes in. Really, it was a really funny episode. I did really like those parts of episode 6. Absolutely awesome stuff for sure. Carol pushing the boundaries to make Daryl uneasy. So there was the mention in episode 6 of Connie and kind of what's going on with that. And so it sounds like Carol might be pursuing that a little bit further, and Daryl kind of doesn't really want to talk about it, or he doesn't really want to, he's kind of defensive of that kind of stuff. So we'll have to see how much he's willing to open up to Carol about that, and if we actually even get to see Connie and Daryl sort of get together in a scene this season. I tend to think before the end of the season they probably would do at least one. We'll probably get to see it at least one time. We do have the description for the mid-season finale as well. We might as well go into it now in this video. The mid-season finale, episode 8, is going to be called The World Before, and the description is, a fight causes tensions in Oceanside while the Alexandrians set out on a high-stakes mission. So that one's a bit strange. So it sounds like we're going to get to see the Oceanside again in the mid-season finale, which is a little bit weird to me because we haven't really seen them since the premiere. So something happens in the mid-season finale at Oceanside, I guess. And the Alexandrians set out on a high-stakes mission, which would probably be, I would think, to maybe take out Alpha's or the Whisperer's horde of thousands, 10,000 or whatever, how many thousands of walkers they have, which is kind of, we haven't really seen. Carol and Daryl have been looking for it, but they couldn't really find it. It must be in kind of a strategical hidden position, maybe a little bit further away that Alpha can bring in if she needs to, but right now is not really at the forefront. It is being kept in the background in case she wants to use it. Right now she's just been poisoning them and doing stuff like this, contaminating stuff and everything. So of course, we haven't also seen Michonne for a little bit. So you tend to think that Michonne's got to be in there somewhere with Judas. So maybe she'll come in with the Oceanside and what's going on with that in the mid-season finale. A lot of people were predicting they think that Michonne will still be here in the second half of The Walking Dead Season 10. Maybe that's true. Maybe she will still be here in the second half because they really have not, with only 2 episodes left, it doesn't feel like they're setting up for a Michonne leave right now. So maybe it actually will be in the second half of the season that we see her final sort of goodbye episode or her final goodbye. And right now I'm feeling like just positionally where everything is, maybe she could be the one that could be leading the herd out or something, and maybe as a result she somehow falls off the horse or something similar to what we saw with Rick, but isn't able to make it or something. I don't know. I was hoping to see Michonne survive out her leave, but at this point now I'm kind of thinking like, well, what if she doesn't, right? Like, what if not everybody can get the helicopter boy, as Morales called him, Rick treatment, and she just dies, right? I mean, it'd be kind of brutal, but kind of suck. But not everybody. It's true that not everybody can get that kind of special treatment, and not everyone's going to be able to do that. So we'll see what happens with that. Judith, of course, was with her, and so is Luke, and we haven't seen him for a bit. So because you have so many pieces of the puzzle moving around here and you have so much happening, it really looks like this half we'll see, maybe one of the Whisperers could be taken out, maybe with Negan, maybe Negan can take out one of them there, be it either maybe Beta or Alpha, or maybe Gamma, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that if they do something with Aaron for that. But it looks like to me that a lot of this stuff is going to continue in the second half. So it does not appear to me like this is the type of storyline or situation that is going to be wrapped up or anywhere close to it in this first half. This is definitely looks like the whole Whisper thing is going to continue over into the back half at least of this season, and maybe by the time the season kind of wraps up or ends, we could see sort of that mega herd be brought towards Alexandria or to one of these places, and we'll see kind of ongoing battles here as we go sort of throughout. But we haven't really seen kind of an official Whisper war kick off yet. So maybe if Negan does something that will, kind of like kill somebody important as part of the Whispers and then bails, then maybe at that point we'll be able to see like a full-on all-out war, Whisper war kick off in the second half of the season, and maybe Michonne will survive in the second half, but then be killed off at some point in that second half. So For right now, Open Your Eyes, probably a Siddiq type of reference type episode. Maybe that will be a reveal for that one. And then probably more stuff with Negan. And in the mid-season finale here, maybe something really good with Negan if he turns out to not be loyal to the Whisperers and be more loyal to our survivors, which we're kind of in the dark on right now, too. We don't know for sure that Negan isn't all in with the Whisperers and wanting to stay there with them. But the way they live is not very comfortable. It's kind of a brutal, sort of savage type of life, so he may not be that interested in staying with them permanently. And if not, maybe he can take someone out as part of the process. So that's pretty much the best I can do right now for episode 7. Looks like it'll be pretty decent first half to The Walking Dead season 10. But it sounds like a lot of the good stuff is still yet to come. You kind of expect that, though, after what they did at the end of season 9. There were so many character deaths with the Pikes and everything and the fair that this first half it makes a lot of sense if you think about it in terms of the story, that you wouldn't want to have too many huge character deaths right at the beginning because you just had like over a dozen or whatever it was, a dozen in that sort of finale episode, then the winter episode after that. Anyway, that'll be it for this predictions video, guys. Leave your predictions below. What do you think we'll see? What do you think about the title, Open Your Eyes? Do you think it's referring to Siddiq? And do you think we're going to get to see some kind of revelation about that? And then Michonne's final episode, when do you think it will be? And what do you think will be their big kind of thing that happens in this mid-season finale? Let me know what you guys think. If you liked this video, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite. Check out my review that I did earlier. It's in the channel right now for episode 6. And I'll see you guys back again soon for a Q&A video. Leave your questions below so we can do those either tonight or tomorrow. As always, it's Trav, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.